Unit 6, Writing an Essay. What's an essay? An essay is a short piece of writing about a particular topic. Discuss. Is air pollution a serious problem where you live? Air pollution is when the air is not clean, it is toxic. A serious problem, a very bad problem in the city where you live. Well, if you live in a big city, then it is. I live in a big city, and air pollution, particularly, especially in the city center, is a serious, very bad problem. What causes air pollution? What are the things that are responsible for this problem? Well, air pollution can be caused by factories. This is a factory. Exhaust fumes from cars. Can you see the fumes coming out of the car? Sometimes you don't see the fumes. They are invisible, but they still exist. As long as the car is running, it produces carbon dioxide or monoxide. And air traffic near airports. In your opinion, what can be done to reduce air pollution? Reduce, make it less. A lot of things. I think that factories should have filters installed. When you install a filter, you put it and you connect it. In order to limit the amount of pollution they cause, people should try to use hybrid cars. Hybrid cars are cars that run on both gas and electricity, rather than cars that use older technology. And generally, people should try to stop driving their own car and prefer using public transport as much as possible. They should use buses or the underground. That's better for the environment. 2. Focus on content and organization. Content, the ideas. Try to look at the ideas and the way they are arranged. Read the article and the rubric below and underline the key words in the rubric. This is the rubric. After we finish reading the article and the rubric, we will underline the keywords. As part of a campaign to reduce the levels of air pollution, a campaign means a series of actions. One action after another, you do these actions to achieve a purpose, a goal. To reduce the levels, the amount of air pollution in the town. Madison is a city. Madison City Council. A council is a group of people who are chosen to make rules for the city. Has decided to make carpooling mandatory. Carpooling, when a lot of people, like colleagues, people who work together, get in the same car to go to work. Instead of driving 5 different cars, no, 5 people can get on one car and they go to work together. Mandatory, something that people must do. You don't have a choice about it. For all people commuting, when you travel regularly to work. When we say travel, we don't mean going to a different city. It means just going from home to work every day, to and from the city. When the measure is enforced, the action. What action? Carpooling. When carpooling is enforced, people start following this rule and applying the rule. It will be illegal, against the law, for people to drive their car in the downtown area. Downtown is an American word. The British word is city center. If there are not at least 2 other passengers in it. Passengers, people inside a car who are not driving. So at least 3 people. 1 is the driver and 2 passengers. So 3 people at least in a car. Residents, people who live in the area have mixed feelings. Some of them like the idea, some of them don't. About the measure, about this action, about carpooling. When asked for his opinion, Adam Conway, an accountant, his job is an accountant, he works with numbers, who commutes to work daily, said, I know we have to do something about the air pollution in the city, but carpooling will be very inconvenient for me, very uncomfortable. I don't like it. Carpooling is one way to reduce levels of air pollution that is especially effective. It works very well at eliminating the problem in crowded cities full of people. In your opinion, what are the advantages and disadvantages of carpooling? Discuss the issue, the problem, and give examples. Now, we read the rubric. Now underline the keywords. Keywords are the most important words, the words that make you understand what you need to do. Well, carpooling, we will talk about carpooling, and it is used to reduce, make it less, the levels of air pollution, and we will talk about the advantages and disadvantages, and we will give examples. This is what we need to do. Underline it. Now, somebody wrote an essay in response to this. In response means to answer this article, to reply to this article. The first sentence, the topic sentence of each paragraph is missing. In here, the first sentence was removed. It was put here at the bottom. Look at the sentences A to D and match them with the paragraphs of the essay. Now look, how many paragraphs do we have? We have 1, 2, 3, 4. What do we usually write in the first paragraph? The introduction. We start the topic. In paragraph 2, you write about the advantages. In paragraph 3, you write about the disadvantages. In paragraph 4, you give your opinion and you make comments. We will read the topic sentences first and we will decide where should this go. Now look, the first one, on the other hand. What is the meaning of on the other hand? It means after you give the advantages and you want to start giving the disadvantages, you use this phrase, on the other hand. So this should go here in the third paragraph when we start talking about the disadvantages. B. Air pollution is a serious problem. Well, where do we say this? In the introduction, when we start our essay, right? Good. C. On the whole. What is the meaning of on the whole? It means all in all, in conclusion. We put it in the conclusion. D. Mandatory carpooling provides an effective solution. We are talking about the good things, the advantages. We put it here. Now let's read. We read the topic sentence and then we continue. B. Air pollution is a serious problem in most cities today, and it is essential, it is very important to find a way to deal with it, to end this problem, to solve it. As the majority, most of us, use our cars on a daily basis every day, one of the best solutions to the problem, the best way to end this problem of pollution caused by cars is mandatory carpooling. D. Mandatory carpooling gives you an effective solution. Effective, it works very well in the attempt to try to reduce air pollution. It is an effective alternative. Alternative is something that you use instead. Instead of using public means of transportation like buses or the underground, alternative way, instead of going on a bus, you can try carpooling. Several people, more than 2, 3, 4, 5 people, ride in one car, and this reduces the number of vehicles, the number of cars on the road. Moreover, it decreases, it makes it less, the amount of gas we consume, we use. This way, exhaust fumes, carbon dioxide and monoxide that pollute the atmosphere, the air, are also reduced. On the other hand, there are certain drawbacks, disadvantages to this measure. The lack of autonomy. Lack means you don't have enough. Of autonomy, freedom. You don't have freedom that carpooling results in is one example. People who share a ride are dependent on one another. They rely on one another, making it difficult to make individual plans. Sometimes people, when they are commuting to work, they need to make stops at the supermarket or different places. But when you are carpooling and you have a lot of people with you, you can't do this. This creates the sense that one's freedom is somehow restricted, limited. You don't have a lot of freedom. See, on the whole, in conclusion, it would seem that the benefits, the advantages of carpooling outweigh. It is heavier. It is more important than the disadvantages. Carpooling is a practical way. Practical, effective. It works very well to fight air pollution, a problem which societies ignore. Societies, people in different cities ignore. They try not to face. They try not to solve this problem for the sake of convenience. Why don't they face the problem? Because they want convenience. They want to feel comfortable and luxury. Indulge themselves. It is time for this to stop. You need to think about the environment. Now, focus on topic sentences. The 2 paragraphs below are from an essay on the advantages and disadvantages of solar power, sun energy. The topic sentences are missing. The first sentences are missing. Read the paragraphs and the topic sentences A to D. Then choose which topic sentences is most suitable, very appropriate for each paragraph. Now, maybe you will find more than one sentence suitable, but which one is most suitable? Look, we usually write 4 paragraphs, but this time we only have 2. One is for the advantages and the other is for the disadvantages. Now, to save time, we will not read this. We will only read the topic sentences and choose. A. The world's sources of fossil fuels. Fossil fuels, the gas we use in our cars, are diminishing, decreasing, rapidly, quickly, and alternative sources of energy must be found. Now, is this good for advantages or disadvantages? Neither. This sentence is good for introductions, right? Okay, we will not use it. B. Alternative sources of energy, like sun energy, wind energy, are not free of disadvantages, unfortunately. Well, this sentence is good for the disadvantages. Is there a better one? Continue reading. Solar power is an alternative form of energy that is environmentally friendly and inexpensive. In here, we are talking about the advantages. Put it here. D. There are, however, several drawbacks, several disadvantages that have to be taken into consideration, that we need to think about. Look, B and D are good for disadvantages. D is better. D. Now, when you write an essay, follow this outline. When writing an essay presenting arguments, you are providing reasons for supporting the idea or against when you don't support the idea, an issue of a problem. Follow the outline below. In the introduction, the first paragraph, you introduce the subject. In the main part, you have 2 paragraphs or sometimes 4. In the first one or the first 2, you give the arguments in favor that support the idea. In paragraph 3, you present the ideas against that don't support the idea. In the conclusion, you make a general comment and you give your opinion. Now it is time for us to write an essay, but first we need to read the rubric, understand what we must do, and then we will write. Read the article and the rubric below and underline the keywords in the rubric. The proposal, the idea, the suggestion to build a multi-story parking garage. Multi-story means it has like a 3rd floor, 2nd, 4th, more than 1 floor. Parking garage, a place where you can park your car. In the place where Lawton Park now stands exists, now there is a park called Lawton Park. They will destroy the park and build in the place of the park a multi-story parking garage. Has caused a lot of controversy. People don't like the idea. Well, some people like it, some people don't. In the local council, the parking problem in the city is well known. Everybody knows about the parking problem. However, those opposing who don't like the idea they say that the destruction of the park is unnecessary. You should find a different place for the parking garage. They also say it shows a total lack of regard for the needs of children. Lack of regard is when you don't care about what children need, especially who enjoy playing in the park. They insist, when you insist, you don't change your opinion easily, that another site, another location should be found for the parking garage. Now read the rubric. Growing populations, the number of people in cities cause the development, the growth of more facilities like shopping malls and parking garages to cater, to provide for the needs of the residents, people who live in these cities. This often happens at the expense of nature. Nature is what pays the price. Nature is the victim, such as parks, fields, or forests in the area. You know, when people expand their cities, when people build shopping malls or garages, they need areas, right? So they need to destroy parks, fields, forests. What are the advantages of destroying a park in order to build a parking garage that would serve the needs of a community of people in a city? Are there any disadvantages? Discuss the issue, giving examples. Now, underline the keywords. Because the number of people is increasing, now we have more shopping malls and facilities. Well, nature is what pays the price. We will talk about the advantages and disadvantages, and we will give examples. Now remember, when you write an essay, carefully think about the reasons, the arguments for and against. For, support; against, doesn't support the issue, the problem. The advantages and disadvantages. Select the arguments, the reasons you have the most to say about. Don't try to deal with too many points. Use topic sentences to express the central idea of each paragraph. Develop the paragraphs by expanding on the idea in the topic sentence. Justify. When you justify, you give reasons, your ideas, and when possible, use examples to illustrate them, to clarify them. You will find linking words and phrases in Appendix 1. Appendix 1, you turn to page 98. Read the words and phrases in your own time. Now go to the workbook on page 56 and let's start brainstorming for ideas. In the introduction, what is the issue you will be considering in your essay? Well, it's about building a multi-story parking garage in the place where Lawton Park is. In the main part, paragraph 1, the advantages. What are the advantages of building a multi-story parking garage? Well, it will cater, it will provide for people. What examples support your arguments? Well, people in highly populated areas, crowded areas, find it difficult to find a parking spot. Paragraph 3 and 4. We will just write one paragraph here. The disadvantages. What are the disadvantages of having the parking garage? Well, children and families can no longer enjoy going to the park. Can you give examples? Well, many families are used to visiting the park and having good times. When the park is gone, they will not find any other place. Conclusion, your opinion. How can you comment on the issue? Building a multi-story parking garage is a practical way to provide parking spots for people. My opinion, I think that the benefits outweigh the drawbacks. This is my opinion. You can have your own. Now, here is my essay. Car parking in the city is a well-known problem, and it is essential to find a way to deal with it, as the majority of us need to go to different facilities in the city, like the mall or the hospital. We don't often find it easy to find a parking space. One of the best solutions to this problem is building a multi-story parking garage. A multi-story parking garage is an effective solution to the parking problems. People in highly populated areas find it difficult and inconvenient to walk long distances to get to different facilities. Think of how hard this problem is on people with disabilities, people on wheelchairs. On the other hand, there are certain drawbacks to removing the park. Children and families can no longer enjoy spending quality time in the park. People with a limited budget will find it harder to take their families elsewhere. All in all, it would seem that the benefits of a garage building outweigh the drawbacks. Building a multi-story parking garage is a practical way to resolve the parking problem in the city. Thank you for watching this video. If you like it, please share it with friends. I will see you again next time, inshallah. Goodbye.